In a multinational corporation, in a cultural perspective, it is not a good idea to centralize all the marketing research and all the marketing decisions. Why? Because like in the international marketing book says, you can't learn culture, you have to live it. Even if you have a lot of information of the country A, B or C, it's not the same to have that information that to live there in that country, because you know what's happening in that country, you know what the people like, what the people don't like, the religions, the, their customs, their values, and etc. If you centralize all the marketing research in one place, you can make a lot of mistakes. Like, for example, if you do an advertisement in one language and then you translate literally in other language, maybe you can send the wrong message and it could be bad for the company. Like, also if you put like an image or a picture in an advertisement, for some countries that picture will be good, but for other countries that picture will be bad and send the wrong message. So you have to take in account this, and also you have to take in account that in all the world we have different geographies. So we have like in some countries mountains, rivers, sea, but there are some countries that they don't have that geography. Also, we have different costumes, different values, and you have to take in account all of this to do like a marketing plan. You can like do a marketing plan for all the world, because that's marketing. You have to make the segmentation of the what do you want of your product. So if you do this, if you centralize all the marketing research in one place, you can have a lot of disadvantage, like give the wrong message, not reach the desired target market. You can lose money, you can lose potential customers, you can make a product that does not like meet the true needs of the consumers. So you have to take into account all of this stuff.
What cultural change made possible the success of infant formulas, and what demographic change boost this product? Okay, after the suit for defamation, the judge recommend that they have to reconsider the advertising practices. So the need of ensures for the Nestle company fundamentally to rethink its advertising practices in developing countries as concerns bottle filling. For its advertising practice up to now can transform a life-saving product into one that is dangerous and life-destroying. If the complainant in future wants to be separate the accusation of immoral and the unethical conduct, he will have to change its advertising practices. So in this case, the cultural aspect that they change, it was that they implement the milk or mothercraft nurses milk, that the were company that were nurse were company representative, usually women who promote infant formula to the medical profession, hospital and clinics, and expectant and actual mothers. They also gave free samples of this milk, and advised the mothers of infant feeding. Milk or mother craft nurses differed from the normal detailed representative in the educational role. In, Besides performing the usual counseling tasks, these nurses were also expected to educate and cons- counsel mothers of infant feeding. And Israel report that they have about 200 nurses in around the world, which was a small fraction of his total detailed force. And their titles and the fact that they often wore white uniforms like nurses were thought to lead mothers to associate infant formula closely with a medical profession. And also critics believe that the milk nurses could be more food productive by working in local health institutions rather than as a company representative. The promotion via the medical profession critics argued that the use of infant formula in hospitals and clinics led new mothers to believe that it was correct to feed their child's infant formula and that it was the best way to give the child healthy start to life. And also doctors were aware of the potential benefits of infant formula and were therefore main targets, particularly of the pharmaceutical manufacturers. And what demographic change boost this product? Um, okay, as early as in the 50s, American pharmaceutical companies had expanded geographically to scale more mature sales and lower growth of the US, and foreign infant food markets were still providing significant sales growth than during the 17th. Eh, so they what they do is that US don't have a exponential like its economy it wasn't growing, and also the the mothers wasn't having babies, so uh, they go to another countries to sell this product. And also because the other countries have like was growing, for example, like 50% or 30%, and the US was also growing 12%. And during the 60s, number of health workers, nutritionists, and pediatricians became increasingly concerned about the statistics indicating that in the Second World, the incidence of breastfeeding in LDCs has steadily declined. Also, in this case, um, when the, the question says that there is any relation between cultural and demographical change, yes, there is a relation because, for example, you can go to another country without taking in account um, the economic climate, the perspective of the industry, the competition of and legislation, marketing, and you have to take into account the trends and the habits of the people, the attitudes, what are the products that they also spend money, um, and also because that was demographical change and cultural because Nestle was selling like these products to people who has uh, like was like in the cities. Yes, they don't sell the products in rural areas. They also locate in urban areas. So they if you are going to go to another country, you can't go to, for example, to urban areas because the people are not going to buy this product because this product is also for people has a higher acquisitive power.
Compared to maternal breastfeeding, the formula exposed children to a greater risk of acquiring a bacterium. In addition, in less developed countries, the necessary conditions to maintain and prepare the formulas or the bottled food were not in place. For example, the moms wash the utensils which they used to prepare with cold water in place of hot water.
Another example that I see was that um, when the moms prepare a considerable amount of food for the babies and all day, they didn't refrigerate this in the correct form, so expose children to acquire diseases or diarrheal infections. Also, another example is that the price of the formulas were so expensive. It represents almost the 50% of the mother's income, so they have to dilute this formula with water, so that caused that the children were not receiving the necessary amount of nutrients that they need. It was based on advertising and distribution strategies, also in the promotion of the Nestle infant formulas. For the distribution, free samples were distributed in many clinics, hospitals, cities, towns of less developed countries, and in many spaces by milk nurses. These milk nurses seems have an image of medical personnel, so they cause confidence in the moms. On the other hand, advertising and promotion by pamphlets, TV, radio gave a perception to the people that was healthier a bottle feeding than natural feeding. The woman image was also important, and all these facts helped to develop a concept that is mother, and it refers to the mothers who prefer the bottle feeding for her child. This was the main factors that made that change from the people think that bottle feeding was better than natural or breastfeeding.
Developed countries, the tendency for the breastfeeding to be increasingly viewed as a sex object, causing embarrassment for the breastfeeding in public, and pharmaceutical companies use representatives, usually women, who visit hospitals and clinics promoting the benefits of the infant formulas. Unfortunately, these factors are still present in the less developed countries. Infant formulas are usually expensive products that that only families with high acquisitive power can buy. Also, breastfeeding still produces embarrassment in women, although in Colombia malls have implemented special rules for breastfeeding. The new initiative spread around the other less developed countries. In addition to this, the high investment that companies like Nestle or other pharmaceutical companies has promoted the benefits of their their products, leaving aside the benefits of breastfeeding.
From our perspective, the behavior of Nestle wasn't ethical because it only thought in himself in increasing their sales instead of thinking in the babies and in the moms of the babies. So it made a lot of several mistakes in their marketing strategies. So for us, Nestle wasn't ethical for three principal reasons. First of all, because it hired milk nurses, and these milk nurses weren't doctors or weren't health specialists, so it was not ethical to pay there because of their sales. And the second reason is because Nestle supply to the hospitals and to the clinics free samples of the infant formula, but it doesn't give like a lot of information of when to use it, and it was wrong. And the third reason is because in their advertising it transmit like the wrong message for the moms, and the moms think that it was better to give to their babies infant formula than breastfeed them. So that's why Nestle wasn't ethical.